I know you like that.
How long you been back, man?
I see the girls in the club, they're getting wild for me. And all the pretty chicks all wanna smile at me. These rap cats, man, they all got this style for me. And if I ever see them, man, they probably bow to me. And when this beat drop, I know they gon' lean. World debut, I know they gon' fiend. Everything Mississippi to the Palm Springs. Girls from brunettes down to blonde queens.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the newly named Pub Sports Radio Baseball Show. My name is Jose Bouquet, and of course, joining me today is the Cliff Lee, aka the Cole Hamels, aka the Roy Oswalt. To my Roy Halladay, it is Andrew Santangelo. Andrew, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, surviving and living another day. Miss sports, but, I got to make the best of it.
Yeah, I was just to ask you, how is the quarantine life, Andrew? We are in like a week or so in. I'm not sure. I've already lost, of course, count. But how's it going for you?
It's rough without sports, but I've been reading a lot of books, so that's how I've been keeping myself entertained. So,
good. Well, I'm glad that you're not going crazy. That's good for all of us, Andrew. Well, today, last week we broke down the 2016 World Series Game 7 involving the Cubs and Indians. Great episode, long episode, but it was a good time doing it. And we're back with another rewind. And we went to a game, Andrew, that's near and dear to your heart, I assume.
Absolutely. This is one I'll never forget. We're going to do the Roy Halladay playoff game where he throws a no-hitter against the Reds. And it was his first career playoff game, and he goes out and throws a no-hitter. So, can't ask for a better performance from him.
Is that good? Going out and throwing a no hitter on your first playoff game, is that good, Andrew?
I guess it's good. It could have been a perfect game, but
it could have been. It should have been. It in fact could have been. Yes. It was funny watching this game. Andrew, this is pretty recent. I'm gonna go ahead and ask, where did you watch this game? Because I'm assuming you watched this game live.
Yeah, I watched this game live. I was in my house, in my basement, watching it with my family. I was 13 years old, so living a great life then. And Phillies were on a hot streak, and just downstairs in the basement.
Who'd you watch it with? Did you watch it with anyone?
Family, brothers, parents, everyone.
You have a large family, don't you? Is it?
I do. I got 4 siblings, 3 brothers and a sister.
It's weird for me because I have a small family and we all kind of live apart from each other. So I'm usually the only one watching whatever I'm watching. So I was going to ask, is it weird watching sports with a bunch of people always? But it seems like you always do that.
No, I've been used to it because, especially for Eagles games, we always had our aunts and uncles and cousins over for Eagles games. So we've always been watching it with a big crowd. It was actually weirder to go to school and start watching sports without them. And then, honestly, this past couple of years, or this past year, basically watching them by myself because, going to a new school and everything. No one was really there.
Yeah, it is. It's weird. It's super weird watching sports by yourself. I do it all the time, I guess. I watch all these games by myself. There's no one I really talk to about baseball with baseball, whatever. As much as you're my go-to baseball person because no one really cares about baseball. So it's weird texting you hey, Andrew, you wanna do this baseball game? You wanna watch an old baseball game? But here we are. We're doing it again.
No, it's great. Yeah, I think I told you this before. I've never really been into watching full old games before. Obviously you watch highlights, but ever since we started this, it's really been the first couple times I really went back and watched a full game.
Well, Andrew, let's talk about this team because, like I said, it's near and dear to your heart. You were a young 13-year-old Andrew. This is probably the peak of your sports fandom, I would say. This is the age where you probably we're all in. So tell me, first of all, let's start with 2008 because I do believe you won a World Series then, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I'll go back a year. I'll start with 2007.
I want to know. Take me into the mind of a Phillies fan going into this playoff game. Everything that's happened thus far.
I'll take it back a year, 2007 to start. Phillies finally getting to the postseason. Their first time since 1993, so obviously the first time in my lifetime in that 2007 season. They transitioned Brett Myers from a starter to the closer. They were trying to mix things up with their bullpen. So Myers ends that season as the closer, and then the off season after they find a way. Actually, they were down. I think it was 6 games back of the Mets with like on September 12th or 13th, like that, late in the season, and they found a way to scrap out the division. Then they end up getting swept in the postseason. And I honestly believe without that, they might not win in 08 because I think even though they got swept in the playoffs, I think that really gave the players at the time their first experience there, and they used that to help them in 2008, where, like you just said, they would go on to win the World Series behind the core of Jimmy Rollins, Chase Utley, Ryan Howard, and Cole Hamels. And then in the offseason, they trade for Brad Lidge, moved Brett Myers back to the starting role, and then they got their closer in Lidge, who was perfect in the season.
All right, let's stop you right there real fast. I would like a quick power ranking of all those players you just said. Utley, Rollins, Howard, Cole Hamels.
Like playing style or like
Your
fan favorite?
Who do you think your favorites are? Fan favorites or your favorites?
All right, so if I'll go fan favorite first, and I'll say my favorite. I'll go fan favorite's got to be Chase Utley, Cole Hamels, and then it's tough between Jimmy Rollins and Ryan Howard. I think I'm going to lean Jimmy Rollins and Howard. Then my favorite would be Ryan Howard 1. I'd say probably Cole Hamels 3. I'll go Chase Utley 2, Cole Hamels 3. Jimmy Rollins 4, but outside of, I really liked Ryan Howard. Outside of Howard, it's pretty tough for me because I liked all those guys. But Howard was definitely my favorite.
Yeah, it's like picking from your children. Shout out to Donnie Rightside for watching. Did the Phillies win today, Andrew? People want to know.
Yes, the Phillies did win today, 2-0.
Who were they playing today?
They were playing the Miami Marlins.
Wow. Yeah, of course.
Well, for those who don't know, Rhys Hoskins decided to play Miguel Rojas on MLB The Show 20, and they streamed it live to give the fans their opening day. And the Phillies did win. Bryce Harper homered. So
good.
Starting
to live up to the contract.
He lived up to it.
I'm glad he's starting to get there. Good. I'm glad he's there. Big win for the Phillies today. Well, can go ahead and continue. So now you've won the 2008 World Series against who?
We won 2008 against the. It might have been. Were they still the Devil Rays at the time? I can't remember. But anyway,
shout out to Scott Kazmir and David Price and James Shields.
And your favorite, Evan Longoria, right?
Yes. Evan Longoria, that asshole. Breaks my heart. Continue.
But yeah, so we're going to win the World Series against the Rays in 5 games. And then the following year, 2009, we brought in Cliff Lee and got back to the World Series, but unfortunately lost that one to the Yankees.
Yeah, that's come on.
Yeah,
come on.
Sorry to break your heart in that one.
Really, dude?
No, I know how much you hate the Yankees.
If the 2001 Diamondbacks can beat the Yankees with all of that stuff going on, the Phillies should have been able to. Come on.
Well, Alex Rodriguez took over, and I think Hideki Matsui as well. So,
oh God, Hideki Matsui's name just sends shivers down my spine. Oh my goodness, I can't stand Hideki Matsui. Made my life hell.
God. Well, I forget. He might have won World Series MVP. Honestly.
Well, I think he did actually.
He did win it. Yeah, that's how well he did that series. It was probably the least expected player out of that offense that you would expect. But that's what makes the playoffs fun. That sometimes you get that type of curveball.
Yeah, that's classic. That's classic right there. All right, continue.
So see, and that was kind of the downfall. As the following year, we go to the NLCS, 2010, which we'll get into this playoff game in a little bit. But yeah, we get to the playoffs after a great regular season, won 97 games. We beat the Reds the first round, and then you go up against the Giants team in the NLCS and lose that one. Very tough series to lose, but honestly, not the one that hurt the most.
What was the one that hurt the most?
The following year, 2011, is the one that hurt the most.
A classic transition. Here we go.
You win 102 games in the regular season, and then not only that, you sweep the Braves. I'll never forget this. We sweep the Braves the final series of the regular season. to kick the Braves out of the wild card spot. The Cardinals win the final day of the season, puts the Cardinals into the playoffs, and then the Cardinals go on to win the wild card game. Or I guess that was before that time. But anyway, we get matched up with the Cardinals in the first round because we let them in by sweeping the Braves. And the Cardinals beat the Phillies in 5 games. And not only that, we lose our first baseman, Ryan Howard, due to a torn Achilles.
Ended his career right there, basically.
Yeah. He played a couple more years, but that was really the downfall of the Phillies and Ryan Howard's career because we have still yet to be back in the playoffs.
Yeah, shout out to Donnie Rightside who comments, Brad Lidge, very, very bad in the 09 World Series, Andrew. I give a quick search for his ERA. You want to guess what Brad Lidge's ERA was in the 2009 World Series?
It was probably about 5 or 6.
27. A whole,
wow.
Yeah, a whole 27. 3 earned runs in 1 innings pitched. Not good. Got the loss.
You want to hear something funny?
Yeah.
Well, it'll be funny for you. It's still not funny for me. I'm still sad about it. But I was at that game where he gave up this 3 runs.
Oh, good. Yes, that's good. That did. I'm glad you know my comedy right there. Good. Cole Hamels, 10 ERA in that series. Not great.
Yeah. And he said something after, I don't remember the exact words, but he said something after that World Series that really kind of got fans angry. That's kind of what brought his fan favorite down a little bit.
And then Cliff Lee blew a lead. So that's tough. Well, so like you said, 2011, the one that hurt the most, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. 20, because you win 102 games. You really thought that was going to be the year. And it disappears in the first round. Not even to get to the NLCS, we're really stung.
Yeah, that's really tough. Like I said, literally, like when you look back at it now, Ryan Howard his career, that's it. That's the end of the dominant home run hitting Ryan Howard. And it's tough because like everyone's celebrating. You lose a literal 1-0 ball game after giving up a run in the first 2 hits. And it's just tough. It's really tough, especially, Andrew. I told you this the other day. The 2011 Phillies have probably one of my favorite stats of all time, I think now. Each of their top 3 starters, who were they again, Andrew? Refresh the people, please.
It would have been Roy Halladay.
Oh.
Cliff Lee.
Is he good? Oh. And Cole Hamels?
Yeah, Cole Hamels.
Oh yeah. Didn't he win like an MVP of some sorts or a Cy Young? What was that? Yeah, he's pretty good.
Maybe.
Yeah, okay.
He won. Cole Hamels had World Series MVP in 2008.
Oh, okay. Not a big deal. Roy Halladay, WAR in that season, 8.8. Cliff Lee's 8.5. Cole Hamels 6.4. That doesn't happen anymore, guys. That does not happen. No. 8+ is an MVP caliber pitcher. They had 2 of them. And 5+ is an all-star starter. And Cole Hamels was 6'4". That's crazy. That doesn't happen anymore.
But when you lose game 5, 1-0, it doesn't matter what kind of pitching you have.
Exactly. Literally losing. Oh gosh, it was tough. And guess what? I love, my favorite part about this is that in the 2011 Phillies, you have those 3 guys. You got Roy Oswalt coming right in there, and he's still good. Still really good.
No, we very talented team. Very talented team.
Yeah, Roy Oswalt, 2.1 more. Vance Worley, the number 5 starter, actually had a better WAR than him that season, which was funny.
Vance Worley was an underdog. He was pretty good. His first couple years, he was good, and then he took a fall too.
I know, right? Well, let's get into this game, man.
But real quick, you know, also heard about 2009 though was we got Pedro Martinez.
Oh,
and we had him for we thought he was a big time pitcher, big time game, and then he came up small in Game 6 against the Yankees.
Well, Andrew, Pedro Martinez and the Yankees, not friends,
Oh no,
not they don't have a good history with each other.
But
tough. Let me say it there, tough.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, fair enough. Let's get into it, Andrew. The 2010 playoff game in which Roy Halladay absolutely dominated. Not like there was not even one chance for the Reds. He did not. He pinned them onto the mat and just said, "No, You will not be getting a hit today. I simply refuse, and dance the ball by them every time. Every single time at ease. It was crazy. Watching it, I was blown away.
And what amazed me more too was, again, it was his first career postseason start, and it did not phase him at all.
No, not at all. So here, let's start with pregame. They show a graphic pregame of the top 3 starters for the Phillies, ERAs and records.
That was crazy.
Roy Oswalt 4.0, 1.12 ERA. Ew. Cole Hamels 4.1, 1.93. Roy Halladay 5-0 with a measly 3.44. That's ridiculous. Dominant pitching staff as always. And then we get the Reds. The Reds win the triple crown of hitting. They're the best offense in baseball this year. And led by Joey Votto, prime Joey Votto.
And, that Joey Votto was amazing.
Yeah, I was about to say, Andrew, I know you love Joey Votto.
I don't know about love, but yeah, he was back then, yeah.
Great. He was close to winning the Triple Crown, too. You want to hear his numbers, Andrew? 324, 113 RBIs, 37 home runs, an OPS of 1.024, and 106 runs. 7 WAR season. As previously stated, 8's an MVP. That's really good. Really, really good. Joey, we're not getting that Joey Votto anymore, which is kind of sad, but I feel like
I would say that's one of the things that sucks about getting old is you don't have these legends that we used to watching anymore.
Yeah, definitely.
They're all slowing down now.
Yes, and this was a really good manager matchup too. Dusty Baker versus your man Charlie Manuel.
Oh, gotta love
your close personal friend Charlie Manuel.
Yeah, I met him before.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Close personal friend. You probably exchanged text messages too.
I wish. Nah, he's actually one of the nicest autograph signings I've been to. He was really nice, very talkative. Gotta give him credit on that one. He loves talking baseball. It's very cool.
What was your favorite thing about Charlie Manuel as your manager?
Oof. I'd say his ability to help the hitters was fantastic. He knew how to help anybody, no matter whether they were in a slump, whether they were tearing the crap out of the ball. It was just amazing. He never seemed fazed by anything.
That is definitely true. Never fazed by anything. Facial expression never changed.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Until especially even when they won the World Series, he kind of just turned around and started hugging the coaches. He still didn't have much of until he kind of got out of the dugout. It wasn't too much emotion from him.
Yeah, definitely. Love that. Roy Halladay's numbers for this year, 2010, 21-10, 2.44 ERA, 250 Ks, 250 innings pitched. That again will never happen again. 219 strikeouts, 8.5 WAR as previously stated. Disgusting. Andrew, let's get into the actual game now.
And Cy Young, right?
And Cy Young. Yes, Cy Young as well. BlackBerry commercial, by the way, to start off the pregame show. I thought that was really funny. I also thought that I thought it was hilarious that the lineups were on the BlackBerry phone in the smallest font possible, so you could not even read it unless you paused.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It was very difficult. But let's get into it, Andrew.
This is 10 years ago almost. So,
yes, it's not even that far.
Graphics have changed.
Yeah, it's not. I doesn't even feel like that far, but it's just funny. It's hilarious. Let's get into it. Brandon Phillips, Orlando Cabrera, shout out to the Red Sox, and Joey Votto lead off the inning for the Reds. And Orlando Cabrera puts up a good fight, but it went down quickly. 6-3, fly out to center, and 4-3. Joey Votto's at bat, he looked outmatched. Just outmatched for sure.
Oh, yeah, he looked. Honestly, all of them. I mean, like you said, Cabrera put up a good fight, but Phillips was down quickly. I think it was one or two pitches.
Phillips swung at the first pitch. He said, I will not be taking any pitches today. Immediate ground ball.
Immediate ground ball right to short. Very routine play for Jimmy Rollins. And then Cabrera battled a little bit, but then, like you said, goes down. And then, Joey Votto just looked silly. He didn't look ready for that plate appearance at all.
Foul ball, broken bat, immediately ground ball to the second baseman after that. Tough. Really tough start for the Reds. And that's when you were like, oh boy, okay. Roy Halladay, I think he's ready for this moment. there's no stopping this man. Phillies come up, Andrew, and why don't you talk about your lineup here? What are they doing in their home half?
We led off with Jimmy Rollins, who was our leadoff hitter for a lot of years in that run. Then we went with Shane Victorino second. He kind of bounced around a little bit, but found the spot at the 2 spot. And then
Love
Chase
Shane
Utley.
Victorino.
What was that?
Love Shane Victorino.
Oh yeah. Oh, he went to Boston eventually. So
love Shane Victorino. My guy.
Which we'll find out later. But he came up big in this game too.
Yes.
And then
twice.
Yeah, after him, you go Chase Utley and then Ryan Howard are the 4 in this inning.
So Rollins, quick fly out, right? And then we get to Victorino again. I just want to talk about Victorino forever. What was go ahead, Andrew.
Hey, he had a great nickname, the Flying Hawaiian. Yeah. He knew how he wasn't always the smartest base runner, but he had speed, so he could do things on the base path. He was a very good fielder, great arm, great range, and he always came up big in the playoffs. And that's one of the things. He had one of the biggest home runs in the playoffs for us. I don't know about the biggest on the field, but like biggest motivational one for the team against off CC Sabathia at a grand slam in 2008, which really got the team going in that playoffs. So again, he always came up big in the playoffs. I love Shane Victorino.
Yes, I do too. Grand slam for the Red Sox to put away
I forgot about that. He's got 2 big postseason grand slams.
Yeah, I mean he's got 2 rings. So shout out to him in both leagues.
I knew that.
In both leagues, that's impressive. So he gets a double in this inning and then steals third. So man on third. This kind of reminds me of how the Phillies lost that game. And then easy Chase Utley sack fly out to the center fielder. Shane Victorino scores quick 1-0 lead. And Ryan Howard fly out to end the inning. But
which even going back to Victorino's at bat, out of all hitters that game, that might have been one of the best at bats of the game. I mean, he falls behind. He falls behind early and fouls off 3 or 4 pitches, I believe, and then finally he gets that double right down the line. I mean, yeah, it wasn't the hardest at ball, but he put it in a good spot down the line. That with his speed, allowed him to get a double. But still, the way he battled, fouled a couple pitches off, and then got that, I thought it was one of the better at bats of the game.
That might be a tease for ye old categories at the end of the show. It's a good tease, Andrew. I see what you're doing there. So we get back to the Reds coming up, and your man Scott Rowland begins his very tough day. Andrew, why don't you explain to people why I call him your man Scott Rowland?
I know this might be a surprise to some people because yes, he is very hated in Philadelphia, but Scott Rowland has always been one of my favorite players.
Why is he hated?
Because back in, I think it was 2001 or 2002, he wanted a new destination of teams because the front office wasn't doing enough to get the Phillies a winning team. So he was tired of losing, and the front office wasn't changing their ways, and it wasn't really bringing anybody in. So they gave him up and sent him to the Cardinals, where he went on to win a World Series.
Yeah, he did. And do you want to hear something funny?
Sure.
MLB is doing a rewatch of the 2016 World Series right now. Actually, they're live. They're posting it live or whatever, and I guess people are commenting on it. So shout out to us for being ahead of the curve.
I saw that, and then while we're on this topic, it's also funny. They are the Phillies, CSN Philly, where most of the Phillies games are on TV. They are restreaming this game we're talking about now on Sunday.
So take
again,
the audio, guys. You guys put the audio. You need it. You just come and ask Andrew. I'm sure he'll give it to you. He'll reason with you.
Man. But yeah, again, ahead of the curve, man. We're beating everyone else to it.
Yeah, I guess. So we'll get it. Second inning, Scott Rowland strikeout. A theme for him. Strikeout. Johnny Gomes. Shout out to Johnny Gomes, former Red Sox. 5-3. And then a Jay Bruce 4-3, hitting 6. Jay Bruce power hitter, as we will later know him as. Another just dominating for Halladay. And I don't remember when the first mention of a no-hitter was, but they mention it pretty early because everyone can kind of feel it. And by the way, I forgot to say this earlier as well. I was pleasantly surprised with how rowdy the Phillies fans were at the game. Very rowdy, very rowdy, very loud. I was like, wow, okay, all right, this is a good atmosphere.
Oh, absolutely. We'll never be a bad crowd.
Some
Re-
people disagree,
re-
Andrew.
Well, the disagreement with is because of how rowdy we are. People think we take it too far.
Fair enough. Well, top of the second inning, the Reds, the broadcast mentions that the Reds were built by the draft. I thought that was very interesting. And my favorite thing was when they said phenom pitcher Mike Leake in the Reds. So I was like, wow, Mike Leake, former phenom, and now he's very, very average to bad. So shout out to prospect rankings because he was definitely high. Also, I wrote down filthy curve to Jay Bruce for a K. So shout out to Jay Bruce for coming out. Bottom of the second. You have anything for that, Andrew? Go ahead.
I would say there's a lot of filthy curves in this game.
Yeah. I also wrote in the first inning, I think like after the first pitch, I wrote Halladay 2-seam plus. Just go ahead and put that out there. Very good. Bottom of the second inning, I wrote tight zone. I underlined it too. So I guess Edison Volquez, who we will probably not be talking about, had a tight zone. I guess hometown bias, obviously.
Oh yeah, totally.
Obviously. Go ahead and tell me, Andrew, what happened in the bottom of the second inning for your Fighting Phils?
Yeah, this was the last. If you like offense, this was the probably the last exciting inning you'd get. After two pretty easy outs for Edison Volquez, honestly, or not easy because there were some good at bats by Worth and Ibanez.
Shout out to Jason Worth for the Phillies, by the way. Almost forgot he was on the Phillies. He's been on the Nationals for a while.
He isn't the most loved guy anymore, but
we'll get into that in a second.
Yeah, Jason Worth works a 9-pitch at bat before he grounds out the third, and then Ibanez works a 6-pitch at bat, and then he flies out to right. So two back-to-back outs there for Edison Volquez. Looks like he's kind of finding some rhythm, but then I agree with you. It was a pretty tight strike zone, but after that he walks Carlos Ruiz on 4 pitches.
Tough, yeah.
And then he gives up the single to Wilson Valdez.
And then maybe again another tease for the later on in the category is maybe the at bat of the game. Here we go.
Probably one of the hardest hit balls, honestly, to this game.
Yep.
But Roy Halladay lines one to left field. Probably was a little misjudged by Gomes. Might have been able
a defensive wizard.
Maybe had a chance to catch it, but either way, regardless, it drops in front of him. They rolled a single, rightfully so. It's a single, and gets the second run home of the game. So Halladay helping himself out here.
Yeah. Really, honestly, again, I'm not a National League Baseball guy, I guess, back in this time. So this is my first time really watching the game. Not expecting Roy Halladay to come on and get a single at all. I was like, oh, it's going to be like a bunt or something. And he comes in, bam. I was like, oh, okay. Wow, all right. And then to make things even better, my favorite part of the game, him wearing the jacket running the bases, a classic. An absolute classic by pitchers. Love the pitcher
October,
jacket.
fall day, man. It's cold. It's cold day in Philadelphia. It's like 40 degrees.
Of course, yeah. I love it. I love it. That's one of the reasons. I feel like if you just take a picture of the pitching coach and Roy Halladay, or the first base coach and Roy Halladay at first, you just take a picture of that. That's all I need to say. We need the DH. Please get us out of here. Who is the coach in that situation? You probably can't even tell. It was great. I love Roy Halladay though. That was awesome. Really funny. So Halladay singles, and that's 4-0 right there, right? Or no,
it's 2-0. It's only one run.
Oh, okay, yes. It's Shane Victorino. I forgot, my man. Go ahead, continue.
Yes. So Jimmy Rollins is up next. He works an 8-pitch at bat. A lot of pitches this inning for Edison, but Rollins works an 8-pitch at bat, following walks, and then that loads the bases up again, or loads the bases up for Shane Victorino, another RBI chance, and then again another great at bat by Victorino, working this time a 8-pitch at bat, and then he singles the center, bringing home the final 2 runs to give the Phillies the 4-0 lead.
And no more runs, no more hits either. Really tough. I told you I saw the 4-0 final score before I started watching, and I told you after, I was like, I'm definitely not going to watch any more Phillies at bats because I'm glad I didn't, because I didn't miss anything.
Hey, you missed one double by Raul Ibanez in the third.
I cannot stand Raul, so I'm glad I didn't see it. Man, I still can't. Do you remember that? I don't remember what year this was. Do you remember him hitting the 2 home runs against the Orioles in the playoffs?
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember what year it was though.
Yeah. So that was pure torture. Pure torture, Andrew. Hell. I can't I'll never forgive him for that. I hold a lot of sports grudges is what people should start realizing about
Hey,
me.
we all do. We all do. Don't worry.
Sports grudges are the best. So let's get into this is when I think from the fourth inning on is when Halladay there's no chance for anyone. There was literally no chance. Brandon Phillips comes up, strikeout looking, Orlando Cabrera strikeout swinging, ground out for Joey Votto. After 2 strikes that looked, and he looked bad, really bad on both strikes.
Yeah, and honestly, at this point, you're feeling, as a Phillies fan, you're feeling very confident. And I mean, you just gave Roy Halladay 4-0 lead, so you're feeling confident in winning the game. And just like you're just kind of again, you're feeling how dominant he's been. And it's like, can he do this again? Because he also already had a perfect game on the season back in I think it was May against the Marlins. So like you knew he was capable of it, and it was just like, is he going to do it? That was like honestly when you got the 4-0 lead, that was the more question. Not are you going to win the game? You could feel it, and like, is he going to get the no hitter?
Yeah, that's when I really like said like, yeah, he's locked in, and that's when I think the announcer said it. Then they're like, yeah, no hitter. He's throwing it in the 5th inning is when they mentioned the perfect game and no hitter. But it's crazy. We'll jump to the 5th inning for the Reds. Another Scott Rowland at bat, another Scott Rowland K, Johnny Gomes K, and then the only base runner for the Cincinnati Reds, Jay Bruce walk, which then came to a Drew Stubbs fielder's choice to get Bruce out at second.
Yeah, and it's funny how it works out. Jay Bruce is now a current Philly, so it's funny how it all circles back.
Yeah, former Met too. I'm sure you like that.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of Jay Bruce? Do you want him on the Phillies? If I would say, is it only a 1-year contract? Because who knows, he might not be playing. So
honestly, I don't know what his contract is because we got him a mid-season trade last year, so it might be 1 year now, but at least for us, this would be a 2nd year. But
all right,
I mean, as long as it doesn't have to play the field too much, I'm all right.
So I'm looking down at my notes for the 4th inning. I wrote down 4th. Halladay starts getting calls. So I guess there's some borderline pitches for Halladay that are getting strikes. And I also wrote ruthless Philly fans. I don't know what they did, but I'm assuming there was a lot of yelling at people when they were striking out. So shout out to the Philly fans again.
Hey, we booed Joey Votto pretty good every time he came to the plate. So
good.
Wait, was that did Scott Rowland bat that inning?
The 5th inning he had his at bat.
That's the one you wrote ruthless Phillies fans.
No, I wrote that for the 4th inning. I would probably be for Orlando Cabrera. No, that was probably for Votto actually.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say it was probably for Scott Rowland too because like I said, he's not very well liked in Philly. So
not a fan. Everyone.
So he got a lot of ruthless stuff when he came to the plate.
All right. Jumping to the 6th inning, I saw there was a Conan O'Brien blimp. I don't think his TV show is a thing anymore, and I didn't know that he had a blimp. I wonder how much it costs to have a blimp with your name on it. How much would you guess?
It's a good question.
Like under $5,000.
I'm going over, especially for a World Series, something to be advertised in the World Series.
Okay, fair enough.
Not World Series, but the playoffs. My bad.
Yeah. All right, so we get to the 6th inning, and they mentioned the last no-hitter through 6 innings in a playoff game. Andrew, do you know who it was? Or did you see this?
The last no-hitter what? Sorry.
No, the last no-hitter through 6 innings in the playoffs. Do you know who held that? They showed up the graphic.
Yeah, he did. I forget who it is.
My man, Andrew. Saw him pitch in the minors and get shelled. Daisuke Masuzaka for the Red Sox against the Rays in 2008, in all places.
What a special year.
Yes. They also showed the BlackBerry graphic in this inning again, and I literally wrote down graphic inside of BlackBerry ? So
you're loving this BlackBerry.
Yeah, like I was like, wow, okay. Yeah, where the iPhone? Like, why did we do that? Was BlackBerry just like controlling the marketing? Is that how they got so popular? Even though the phones were crap, I guess. But who knows? So let's get to the hitters now, Andrew. Like we said, Halladay walks Jay Bruce in the inning previously. No perfect game, but the no hitter is still intact, obviously. Ramon Hernandez, a fly out, no chance. At this point, in the top of the third, by the way, didn't even mention this. Travis Wood came in and hit the hardest ball that we will see in this game in the top of the third. So let's mention that now by the pitcher. And then we get a ground out by Juan Francisco, another pinch hitter, and then a fly out by Brandon Phillips. Dominance continues.
I feel like in games like this, when a pitcher's that dominant, like no matter who it is, not just in this game, obviously, but when a pitcher's that dominant, I feel like being a pitch hitter, like that, you just have no chance.
No,
like
absolutely not. They don't, and I guarantee you, Andrew, those pitch hitters, they didn't want no part of this game. You're like, guys, you guys have fun. I don't want to face Roy Halladay right now. You guys go face him. If I get the call, I'm like, damn, do I really got to go out there face this man? This is the sixth inning. He's got no hits, man. No, thank you. Especially, I feel bad for Miguel Syro too in the ninth.
Oh yeah,
yeah, impossible, impossible.
I mean, by that time, again, by the ninth inning, you're pinch hitting. Not only do you have the pitcher like at his dominant form, but you got the entire. If it's a home game, you got the entire crowd behind him, and then in this case, it's a playoff game, so double that crowd noise.
Yeah, no chance. Seventh inning, Orlando Cabrera 4-3, Joey Votto 5-3, and probably his best at bat, which again still was awful. Joey Votto really good this year, very bad this game. And then the third and final, the piece de resistance for Scott Rollins, another strikeout to end his day for 0-for-3, 3 Ks.
Yeah, you said not a good day for him. But you know what? In this case, I'm all right with it.
At this point, Andrew, were you already like feet back? Like this is money. This is no hitter territory.
No, okay. So this probably won't surprise you at all. But first off, I'm not a big person to sit down and watch big games like this. So I don't remember exactly, but I was probably on my feet for most of this game.
Yeah, of course, yes. You were probably pacing back. I do the same thing. I'm a big pacer.
And then me for baseball games, I even sometimes, but especially when I go to the game, I do it now. But like back in the day, in that case, I would do the book at home for the playoff games.
Okay, that's what I do for these games.
I know, but I'm saying like when I was doing it live, watching that game live, so I was on the edge of my seat the whole game.
Do you have the book from that game still?
I'm sure I do. I have a ton of them. It's probably
you should have found it. Come on, and
I honestly didn't think to look for it until now.
I'll look for it after. Come on.
Stay tuned next week. I'll bring it out for next week. I'll find it. I'm
disappointed. I wanted to see like your notes, like your 13-year-old notes you wrote down. Man, that'd be hilarious. That right there would have been funny.
I absolutely still have it. It's just a matter of where it is. Because it's in I think it's in one of my containers. I have a few of them.
Yeah, just containers of how many containers and how many books do you have in
there? Those I don't know, but I mean the containers
over
are
under
other
10.
Stuff. Over under 10 score books?
Yes.
Probably over.
And are they actually like full?
No, yeah, they're full.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I'm just asking questions,
because luckily we started making the playoffs, so I'd do some regular season games, and then I had all of our 8 playoffs, so 9 playoffs. So yeah, and it was a good handful.
I agree. 8th inning. Let's jump into the 8th inning after Scott's third and final K. Johnny Gomes opens up 3 pitches, K, I believe.
Yep.
Dominant. Jay Bruce, dribble back to the pitcher. Drew Stubbs, another K backwards this time, looking on 3 pitches.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm going to start this off by saying this. I think we've said this a lot today, Andrew. But is this good, Andrew? Is this good? 3 pitches, strikeout, 1 pitch, ground ball to you, 3 pitches, strikeout. Is that good?
Absolutely, especially when it's strikeout looking to end the inning. Like it just shows.
Word.
Like at that point in the game, you think you just like go down swinging, just like trying to foul something off. Like at that point, it's going to be
no chance.
You know it's going to be a dirty pitch, but
no chance. Absolutely none, Drew Stubbs. So then we get into the 9th inning, and at this point, it's like a foregone conclusion. This is a no-hitter for sure. Before we get into that, actually, do you think this would happen nowadays, Andrew? Do you think Roy Halladay would or pitcher, I guess not Roy Halladay because he's known for his complete games. But do you think a pitcher like, I don't know, Jacob deGrom would have a no-hitter through 6? Do you think the manager would go send him back out there, or would they send a relief pitcher because, third time through the order and all that good stuff?
I think in this case, with a 4-0 lead, yes, it would still be out there. But I think if you get into a game where it's 1-0, even 2-0, I think they might not take a chance with it. But like, say in the ninth inning, if Halladay would have gave up a leadoff home run, in that case, you're still at 4-1. Now you just bring in your closer, shut the door down, and you move on.
So let's we talked about it earlier. In 2011, this would definitely not happen. The 2011 game when it was Chris Carpenter, Roy Halladay 1-0 right there. That's not happening. There's some pitchers coming back into that game. What do you think?
Oh, today's game. No, there's no way he would have stayed out there.
Yeah, I agree. So Brandon Phillips,
which is a shame.
Actually, no. Ramon Hernandez starts the inning. It is a shame. I agree with you. Definitely we won't be seeing a 200 innings from a pitcher anymore. By the way, I don't think that happens anymore.
No, probably not. Especially with the injury bug hitting different guys, and everyone's all cautious now. Which, to a degree, is the right thing to do. But also, to another degree, sometimes it's better. The guy should just be left out there.
I'm looking it up right now, but who do you think? What do you think the most innings pitched were last year?
I'm gonna say a guy was at least close. I'd say like
you'd be surprised.
No,
I'm gonna say you'll be surprised.
I forget who it was, but someone did hit 200. I remember hearing it.
Yeah,
I would say like 212.
So Justin Verlander led with 223. Bieber has 214. Everyone in the top 10 has 200, but it's like 214, 213, 212. Like nothing.
That's crazy. I don't think that many.
It's not like 250 like Halladay was throwing now.
Yeah.
And plus, listen, it's Bieber, Bauer, and Cole and Strasburg. These are all the one of the best pitchers out there. Bieber's a freak. Bauer has to be yanked off the mound to get off the mound. So, and of course, and Verlander's an old school pitcher too.
Yeah.
And
so with this, it's not gonna happen once this kind of generation of pitchers kind of go away.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there. So. Ramon Hernandez flies out to Chase Utley. That again, when you see a fly out to the second baseman, you're like, wow.
Yeah, there's no chance.
No, sir. Then you get a nice, decent at bat from our man Miguel Cyro. But as previously stated, if you are coming off cold as a pinch hitter against Roy Halladay, you don't have a chance. That's just law. We don't make the rules. That's just law. Fly out to the third baseman, and then Brandon Phillips gives his very best effort. A close play, a little dicey. Carlos Ruiz throws it to your man Ryan Howard. Game over. Roy Halladay completes his no-hitter for his first postseason game.
No, on Phillips' at bat though, when he hits that small dribbler, I thought the way he threw his bat, I thought the bat was gonna. I thought the ball was going to hit the bat on the ground and just roll away. I don't know what to call it.
I thought so too. It was close. They were really close together. I saw it, and I was like, "Oh, okay, all right."
I thought that, or like even the way like Ruiz has to go in and avoid the bat, like they just all played a part. And that would have sucked if that was the first hit.
Definitely. Also, Andrew, in the 8th inning, going back to my random notes here. Last no-hitter through 7 innings, Andrew. Jim Longbow, some guy for the Red Sox back in like 1956. So again, Roy Halladay's start here is unprecedented and probably won't be ever done again. Andrew, do you think this will ever happen again?
Yeah, it's going to happen again.
One starter.
Yes, I don't know when it will, but eventually it would happen
in the playoffs.
Yes, there will be. I don't know when, but in our lifetime. Well, yeah, hopefully in our lifetime, assuming we live long, healthy lives, we will see another postseason no-hitter.
Andrew, we are not guaranteed long, healthy lives, nor are we guaranteed baseball anymore in this type of a climate we're in now.
It is set time.
So, I'm gonna get into the categories, but I'm gonna get into something real fast. My favorite announcing moment of this game. I don't know if you have one. I'm springing this on you. I don't know if we should make this a permanent category. But my favorite announcing moment was in the bottom of the eighth after the disgusting again K. The announcers don't even say a word. They just like let the crowd noise go over everything. They let all the Phillies fans go nuts and everything. They just let the moment breathe. They don't say a word, and they just kind of go off into commercial with Roy Halladay just calmly strutting off the mound after laying waste to another opponent.
See, and honestly, that's special when they let the crowd do that. Like to get the full feel of the crowd and everything. I like when announcers do that.
I do too. That's why it's my favorite moment. This was the first postseason no hitter since Don Larson of the New York Yankees in 1956. There's your Jeopardy question of the day, Andrew.
I would have got that right. Actually, I knew that one.
Okay, Andrew. Okay,
I wrote that one down.
good. Well, I'm glad. Well, let's get into the categories now. As if you don't remember, if this is your first time tuning in, we have categories we break down at the end of our show after we finish the game. We have scapegoats versus actual goats, newly named. It's clever, right, Andrew? Thanks. I know.
Right. Very nice job, buddy.
Yeah, thanks. At bat of the game, nastiest pitch of the game, and the David Freese career climax moment of the game, Andrew. So we'll start off with at bat of the game. Who do you think? Give me some nominees.
I think a couple Victorinos. I already mentioned the one in the first inning. I think again the one in the second inning though as well when he drives in 2 runs off an 8-pitch at bat. I like the long at bat. So like Jason Wirt, even though he grounded out, Wirt's 9-pitch at bat was a great one. I think you got to give credit. I mean, again, obviously they don't get hits out of it, but Orlando Cabrera had I think it was a 9-pitch at bat in the 7th off Holiday. So I mean, he ended up getting out, but I mean, when a pitcher's that dominant, you're trying to get the guy out of the game. So I think that's one of the Reds' better at bats. And I mean, I think Holiday finished with just over 100 pitches in this game. I don't remember the
Which is
exact number.
crazy. Yeah, I don't have.
It was like 104.
I didn't write down the exact number, but that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it was 104. So.
But I think your head's in the wrong place for this at bat of the game, Andrew. My at bat of the game. Let me interject you real quick. I think it's the Brandon Phillips at bat in the 4th inning where Halladay just embarrasses him and then suddenly just locks in, or Roy Halladay's at bat when he's hitting. I think Roy Halladay's dominance should be displayed in this at bat of the game. What are your thoughts?
I mean, no, I agree with you. I think, but I think, yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I just think Victorino's where you work an 8-pitch at bat with the bases loaded, 2 outs, and then again credit the Holiday single, but with its first pitch and then it's also misjudged a little bit by the left fielder, so I think that's a key there. And then I think Victorino's at bat was just a better at bat for him.
Hey, that's good.
At the game.
I'm glad. I'm going to go ahead and pick Roy Halladay's at bat where he got the single and got his own run support, because without that, who knows? Maybe the Phillies just win this game 1-0 and he gets the no hitter like that. You know,
you're right. Without that at bat, Victorino's at bat. Holiday gets out.
Exactly. All right, nastiest pitch, Andrew. You didn't have one last week, so I'll go first, and I go ahead and wrote all of them.
I would say there's a lot of curveballs you can choose from.
All of the pitches.
Actually 2 of my favorites. One was actually they're both against Scott Rowland. One was the first one I really liked was the second time he struck Rowland out on the curveball.
That's tough. That's really tough by Scott. Shout out to Scott. Come on the show, Scott. Let's discuss. Andrew would love to talk to you.
Yeah. If he comes on the show, we need to get him in the same spot so we can actually meet him too.
Right. You'd have to fly, or we'd have to fly.
Yeah, I know he's listening.
We would have to fly to Scott. Scott doesn't fly to us. Come on. we know better. All right.
I'll fly to Scott. It's all right.
Yeah, you're right. Where do you think Scott living nowadays? I have no idea.
I have no idea. I could not answer that. I'm not.
Fair enough.
I know the minor league team was retired his number a few years ago, but I doubt he's not living here. He just came back for it.
That's funny. All right. Next, scapegoats versus actual goats. Obviously, as you can tell, scapegoats are bad. The people that poor performances in this game, and actual GOATs, the traditional, I guess, sense of the word now, the greatest of all time GOAT, MVPs of this game. Andrew, I have 2 nominees for each. I'll start with actual GOATs for you. Obviously, Roy Halladay. I think he qualifies. And your man and my man, Shane Victorino. 2 easy choices for actual GOATs. Do you have any more actual GOATs?
I agree with you too, obviously. And then I'd say the only I know I said otherwise when we were texting before, but I'm gonna change it and say I'll give Travis Wood an actual GOAT. He goes 3 and
Wow.
third and gives up 1 hit. You
Wow.
gotta give him some credit.
Non-biased journalism, Andrew Santangelo. Wow.
He came in and silenced he silenced the inning when he came in the second inning.
Yes, he
Tough
did.
spot there.
Yep.
And then he continued. I mean, he gave a 1 hit to Raul Ibanez, but besides that, pretty good outing for him.
I have to agree. Scapegoats. Our man, friend of the show, Scott Rowland. 0 for 3, 3 Ks. Woo! Tough day. And Joey Votto, because he's supposed to be the leader of this offense and did not stand a chance throughout the entire game.
Okay, I agree with both those. I will add Johnny Gomes. 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts, and then again misjudged. Kind of misjudged that one. I don't know if he would have caught it or not, but misjudged it a little bit in left field and kind of fell over when he was trying to stop the ball.
Yep. That's classic Johnny Gomes right there. Throw his body in front of everything.
And then I think you got to throw the red starter, Edson Volquez, in there too, just because you have 4 runs in an inning and 2/3.
Okay. Actual GOAT. I have another actual GOAT. The Phillies as a whole. Is this the best Phillies team? Is 2008 the best Phillies team or 2011?
I think pure talent-wise on the team, I got to go 2011.
Cliff Lee's hard to stop. You can't.
I know they didn't have the best success in the playoffs, but it was definitely the best one out there.
Last segment, and I'm gonna ask you a question after this, just to make you laugh real fast. Climax moment, the David Freese career climax award. This is the award. This recipient is the climax of his career. He's at the peak of his powers. Best moment in this person's career, as David Freese's was in 2012. I don't remember when that was now anymore. But we all know the Rangers series. Roy Halladay, Andrew.
Yes, I think it was his first start. But I think it was obviously it can't really be a no-hitter, but it was his best postseason start in his career. I think this was his best moment of his career. Because I think the playoff game no-hitter would, because of the playoffs and everything, it tops his regular season perfect game.
I don't have any more nominees. I just have Roy Halladay, actually. Do you have any more nominees? Because I think, honestly, it's not Jimmy Rollins. I believe he won an MVP, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Chase Utley?
No, he goes over, and then he has 1 RBI, but 09 playoffs, he was a lot better.
Ryan Howard's still young in this, I think. I would like to think so, at least. And doesn't even have a good game as well. Anyone else? Any other Phillies? Maybe Carlos Ruiz for calling this no-hitter, I guess?
Yeah, you can put his defense in there. I think that's a good point.
I wrote down the Reds franchise, but I put no because of the Big Red Machine. But I put the Reds franchise for an apex since they led the majors in offense and everything. And it's tough being a Reds fan. You got to grasp on what you can.
Yeah.
But again, no, the Big Red
Yeah,
Machine.
because there wasn't too many big. I mean, obviously the big moment was Holiday's no-hitter, but outside of that, and Victorino, there wasn't too much in this game.
I agree with you, Andrew. All right, so that concludes the categories. We're gonna wrap it up here, Andrew. But let me close on this. Do you remember how the Phillies acquired Roy Halladay?
Oh, absolutely. We robbed the Toronto Blue Jays.
Do you remember who was in the trade?
At the time, it was a young prospect in Kyle Trabeck. He was supposed to be a really good pitcher. Drew a lot of comparisons to some top guys. And then it turned out.
Here's a spoiler alert. Definitely was not.
What was the last part?
Was not the star player that he was supposed to be.
Well, he had 2 John surgeries.
Yep, it's tough. Unfortunate. Do you remember who else is in there?
I believe Michael Taylor, right? And then he was, I think, traded to the A's immediately.
Yes.
Or someone.
Yes. Do you remember the last one? Arguably the biggest name of this trade.
Nah, the biggest name of the trade was the catcher. What's his name? Travis.
Yeah, played for the Mets.
Yeah. He had that really good year with the Mets. I can't remember his last name.
Travis d'Arnaud.
Travis. Yeah.
Yes. Robbery of the Blue Jays. That's really tough right there. And Andrew, here's another one. A year later, you guys sign Cliff Lee, correct? To trade for him?
That year we signed him as a free agent. We traded for him in 2009. And then he left for the Rangers. And then we reacquired him as a free agent. Because that was the year I was shocked he signed with us because I thought he was pretty much a lock for the Yankees. But he actually took less money to come here and then go play with the Yankees. I think, if I remember correctly, I think his wife had a part in that, wanting to go back to Philadelphia. So shout out to her.
I'll start. Shout out to her, of course. We'll start by this. I want you to remember that, Andrew. They traded him, and he came back, or whatever. They traded for him, and he came back. Do you remember that? Who was in that deal, by the way?
The Cliff Lee trade?
Yeah.
There was a catcher named Lou Marson.
Has not turned into anything. I have not heard of Lou Marson. There's one player in this deal that kind of makes it even, sort of. Not really.
Wait, was Lou Marson not in that deal?
No, he is. No, he is.
Oh, okay.
One big name. Still on the Indians.
Still on the. Is that Carlos Carrasco?
Carlos Carrasco.
That's what I thought. Yeah. I could start because we traded him to the Indians, and then we also had Gio Gonzalez, and I forget what trade he was a part of, but we traded Gio before he came big.
Yes, Carlos Carrasco, Jason Knapp, and Jason Donald and Lou Marson complete that trade.
Yeah, we got Ben Francisco in that deal too, right?
Yes, outfielder.
Yeah, because he came up. He was never a big player, but he was a good piece off the bench.
Who was the? Is that the center fielder for the Phillies that was really good at defense? Small guy. He made that really ridiculous catch.
No, that was Ben Revere.
Ben Revere. I thought it was Revere. Damn.
Yeah, ridiculous catch against the Reds on Jackie Robinson Day.
Yes.
Man, sometimes I wish I could remember schoolwork like I can in sports.
No, you don't. You don't remember. You don't want that. Andrew, let's wrap this up. It was a good episode as always. Last week we discussed what game we want to do next on air. Andrew, do you have any ideas, any games you're thinking about right now?
I say go back to a bigger game. I say later we go back to a perfect game. I feel like Mark Burley would be a random perfect game. That'd be fun to do.
The Burley game. Okay.
Should we go to the Jose Bautista bat flip?
Let's do that one.
Let's do that one. And maybe we can get.
Special guest Samwise Gamgee.
Let's not do that the same.
Special guest Samwise Gamgee. I'll send a text message immediately. We have to bombard his phone. I'm glad. If he doesn't listen to the show, now we'll know after we mention him.
Yeah.
All right, Andrew. Well,
let's do that one.
Good. I'm glad we've got that, Andrew. It was a pleasure as always. It's going to be very interesting, and I can't wait. We'll catch you guys next week. Andrew, any final thoughts?
Sports. I need you to come back soon, and especially the baseball season.
I agree.
And
I agree.
Shout out to us doing this on opening day.
Yes. Shout out to opening day. Andrew, I can't wait for Mookie Betts to be on the Red Sox. Mookie Betts, come back to the Red Sox. We'll see you guys next week.
Do ever what you want to do, coming over you. Keep on smiling what we go through. One stop to the rhythm that defines you. And I speak to you like the chorus to the verse. Drop another line like the coda with the